Metamorphose Transition. This is part 6. I've called this one The Mystery of Romans, Chapter 12, The Living Sacrifice. This came out in my series on the mysteries, and I thought it appropriate to add this to this Metamorphose Transition. The Mystery of Romans, Chapter 12. Paul is saying to them, after he's written to them what we call chapters 1 to 11 in Romans, now I beg you, reflecting on the aforementioned mercies of God, to present your bodies. Now the question is, what is he talking about? This natural body, or this inward man that he spoke of in his other letters? The outward man is decaying and dying. We know that. The outward man goes back to the dust. So the outward man will go back to the dust. But it's the inward man that we can put on, that he says later, will sustain this body. So you're sacrificing the inward man and putting him on. That's the only body that would be considered wholly acceptable unto God. It's a matter of reasoning this, by the renewing of this mind, so we could understand this. So we can comprehend that part about understanding what our Father's trying to say to us at this moment. What he said to Paul in Romans 12, that we have to renew this mind. That's the task to be completed. How do I renew this fallen carnal mind? It gets answered. Then gets the mind of Christ, the same mind that is in our spirit, which was in the Son of God when he was here as the Son of Man. Remember, Jesus lived out of that mind right from the get-go. He was virgin born. He never yielded to the natural carnal mind. He says that he grew in wisdom and knowledge of God and man. At the young age of 12, his spirit, this mind of his spirit, takes control, and the flesh becomes weaker and weaker. He says it in the garden, the flesh is weak, but the spirit is strong. Apart from that, he wouldn't be able to offer his body as a pure and holy body. His body was the only body that was acceptable unto God. Now comes the part that only this renewed mind can understand. We were in that body of Christ. Only through this mind of the inward man, our spirits with the same mind, can we comprehend this. This natural mind needs to be renewed to that mind, period. We now start scratching our heads. We don't understand that. That's why his body saw no corruption. That we might have such a body to offer him. Now I can't offer him this decaying body. Like I said, God don't take roadkill. You have to have a living body. Present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, for this is your reasonable service. You got a body. The inner man is that body. And the outer man has to yield, and you can put him on. So when you're sacrificing, So when you're sacrificing, offering up this body that is in you, as the Son of God did. It was his inward man that he offered to his body. Paul said that he died daily. So daily he puts on this inward man on, putting off the outward man, with the inward man sustaining him. His body that he offered is his inward man, that when he offered it as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, it's his reasonable service that's running this carnal mind to this fact that you have a body to offer a living sacrifice. Apart from him, you wouldn't have it. We just have this decaying, dying body. God won't take that. It's not acceptable. That body of Christ in you. People don't understand that. I've always said it. There are some 37.2 trillion cells in that body, and you're one of those cells. You have that body. Apart from you having that body, you can't follow his command in Romans 12. You can't offer this body that's decaying and dying, but you have the inward man, the body of the inward man, that cell that you are, to what Christ manifested, giving you such a body. It saves us by our spiritual understanding. The mind of that spirit saves that through the spirit, renews the mind, saves the soul, and as it saves the soul, it sustains this body. Understand, this inward man, it says, is renewed day by day. You offer it, he renews it. Remember Jesus, when he touched him, virtue would go out of him. Then he would go off alone between he and the Father, and he would renew him in strength day by day. It's a daily thing. There's some clarity to this. There's a lot more to this. He says, do not conform to this world, but be transformed, metamorphose. Realize what's in you. You're focusing on you're focusing on God. He's saying, do not conform to this world, but be transformed, metamorphose, realizing what's in you. You're focusing on the outward cocoon. That's our problem. Like a caterpillar, right? That's the weakness of the flesh. Don't focus on the outward man. So it's the focusing on the inward man and not the outward man. That's what we got to do. Don't be conformed by this world, their way of thinking and feeling, the free will. It's my hope that what I've just shared here to you resonates in your mind. The renewed mind by the mind of Christ in your spirit, so that you have this reasonable service to offer that body to sustain this body. God bless.